Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another walk and talk. This is actually going to be the last walk and talk for about a week, as Chris and myself we're on our travels. We're heading out to Dubai to go over to the Cardano summit, so that's going to be pretty interesting. We'll try to do some content whilst we're out there, but chances are I won't be doing a walk and talk until I come back. We'll probably have lots to discuss when I do arrive back here, though, in another one of these longer form kind of walking, talking videos. So do watch out for that. But in good old fashion, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit of crypto whilst we go outside for a bit of a walk. And we're actually going to be discussing Cardano in today's video, right? So obviously we're over to Dubai for the Cardano summit. In the Cardano summit there's going to be no doubt a few announcements and different things that we'll be obviously breaking to you guys, discussing, so do make sure you join us down in the Discord and subscribe to the YouTube channel and you won't miss any major updates when it comes to anything Cardano. But I do want to kind of spend a little bit of time today just kind of talking through some of the things that are going on with Cardano. And the main subject matter, I guess, is price action of ADA, right? And so we're going to just spend a little bit of time talking about what is going on there, because I have seen and heard some discussions around whether or not the price action of ADA, and whether or not the bottom is in for the bear market on Cardano, right? And a lot of people are speculating that it is in, and that there isn't really a lot else to kind of see in terms of downward price action. I think this is quite a naive approach. We have obviously seen numerous times already new bear market low points for Cardano's ADA, and I don't think we're done yet. And I know there's going to be people in the comments section smashing the keyboard saying bear, 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 super bearish, and all those kind of things, and why so much hatred for Cardano. I wanted to kind of just air out right now, this isn't about whether I'm bullish or whether I'm bearish. It's not about hatred for Cardano, it is simply just that the structures within the price charts are basically telling us that we should expect further downside. There hasn't been any major break upwards that's actually breaking above the daily 200 EMA. There's none of that. We're actually finding that the daily 200 EMA is actually being resistance right now. So we are seeing good, strong reasons why we might get rejected here. Not only do we see this on Cardano, but we know that Bitcoin, the market leader, is also showing lack of volume, divergence with continued higher highs, while volumes are dropping, and we should acknowledge that potentially Bitcoin is on the cusp of a major correction to the downside. And well, you know what will happen if Bitcoin drops? Well, Cardano ADA will drop too. So for the most part, no, I don't think the bottom is in. And even though there's lots of kind of discussions saying at 22 cent, that's it, we're done, I will kind of just recap a little bit back to 2022, where I was saying expect 22.3 cent ADA, and nobody wanted to believe me. Okay, I'm now here saying I don't think the bottom is in, even though my predictions back in 2022 were spot on accurate. Okay, I still think we have further to the downside to go, and this simply is just because structure dictates that we should be thinking downward price action, not upward price action. And so my next target range is, well, 15 to 18 cent. This isn't new, this is something that we talk about in the Discord server, in the AMAs, on the YouTube videos quite a bit. My expectations are 15 to 18 cent for Cardano. This is a new bear market low, and that's going to be a fantastic opportunity to dollar cost average. Now, at the point of recording this video, we are hovering approximately around the 29 cent range, which means it's a pretty hefty drop to the downside, right? We're basically talking about halving the price of ADA. And yes, that's exactly what I think is likely to happen. Okay, I'm expecting Bitcoin to drop down heading towards $20,000 by the end of the year, and I think ADA can be going down towards that 15 cent target as well. So although we see some great things from a fundamental standpoint, and we know that Cardano has a very bright future, and I'm very bullish on the long-term picture for ADA, that's why I have a significant holding in ADA myself, we should expect corrections, profits to be taken, and more liquidity to be sucked up out of the market. Now, On that note, there's many different things and many different ways that you can kind of act to kind of hedge a lot of those issues with downward price pressure. You can delegate your ADA to our cheeky crypto stake pool. It's a great way to earn a nice passive income. So if you haven't already staked your ADA, you should probably go ahead and check that out. All the details are in the description below. So that's a great way to kind of hedge whilst dollar cost averaging as price pulls back down, get it delegated, start earning more ADA, make your ADA work harder for you. So why not delegate to the ADA pool? Okay. The other things you can do is obviously swing trade in and out of ADA, but it is highly risky in my opinion, specifically in the later stages of a bear market that we find ourselves in. Essentially, it's easier to just delegate and forget, okay? Long-term picture is looking pretty good, so we don't want to be too concerned with that. The other thing we should address really is there is, I guess, a group of bad actors just generally on the Cardano ecosystem draining liquidity. Now, liquidity is key if we want to see a stable price in ADA, right? And when times get hard, well, you see liquidity getting drained. We are seeing a little bit of this at the moment. Cardano whales, for example, are significantly, not significantly, but are taking some profits off the table, which basically means they're sucking liquidity out of ADA. And so we want to be aware that essentially liquidity is on the drop. It isn't exactly on the increase right now. And so we want to be aware of those things. And these bad actors, they span from many different areas, right? We can talk about NFT projects. You could even kind of throw Meld under the bus and say that they just drained liquidity, which they all did, right? It's obvious to see. You can also argue that even stake pool operators with numerous large pools are just sucking liquidity out of the market during this bear market as well. Again, these are all things that we'd kind of expect to see, and isn't really unusual. But when the price action of ADA starts to drop on down and liquidity starts to get sucked up the way that I think it's going to, we are going to see 15 to 18 cent ADA, which does mean, of course, that the bottom is not in for Cardano, and therefore we should be thinking about accumulation and whether or not we want to build bigger positions in ADA as that price pulls back to the downside, dollar cost averaging as we go, because I do think, generally speaking, that is the right thing to be doing. So, you know, for the most part, for Cardano, I think we are seeing the right things. Okay, even though I am being bearish on price of ADA, I'm not bearish on the actual fundamental side of Cardano. Okay, these are fundamentally different things, right? I do think that we are going to see some really significant growth on ADA in the future, and this is simply because we are seeing all the right metrics in the background. I think a DeFi boom is coming, and I think Cardano is going to be able to take a significant advantage of what is to come from a DeFi point of view. We see that the total value locked on ADA is, of course, growing quite rapidly. Not from a dollar value, but from an ADA point of view. And a lot of people forget about this or they skip over it, but it's really quite a straightforward yet fundamental part of taking a look at total value locked. When you take a look at total value locked from an ADA point of view, you are seeing more and more ADA getting locked up, which means the circulating supply of ADA is actually dropping, not increasing, right? This is really important. So as price of ADA goes down, we can see the total value locked in dollar values go down, but we can see in the background that more and more ADA is getting stacked up. This is really, really good news for the future growth of ADA in terms of price appreciation. And this simply comes down to supply and demand. The more supply of ADA that gets locked up, the better for the future price action of ADA. Then, of course, the other part of the argument is that we need to see demand. And where are we going to see demand from? Well, there's about 1,200 dApps being built on Cardano, and that's going to bring a lot of new users into the ecosystem, but it's also going to fuel a requirement to purchase and own ADA. Okay, so we're going to see the supply shrink and the demand increase. This is a recipe for great success. So although I'm bearish on the kind of short to medium term for the price action of ADA, long term, I am very confident in where ADA is heading. And if you've watched any of my most recent videos, you'll know that my price predictions on ADA split opinions quite a bit. But I do think we've got some pretty decent price appreciation to be expected over the next several years. So all in all, I guess to kind of summarize this little bit of a rant of a video, we're heading on over to Dubai for the Cardano Summit. So do watch out for lots of additional content from the Cardano Summit, everything Cardano, for a little while. So that's going to be really cool to kind of see what's unfolding there. And although short-term bearishness, I do expect price to go down 15 to 18 cent is the target range. I think long-term we are looking very, very good for Cardano. So that's going to wrap up today's walk and talk. If you have found it useful, informative, maybe even entertaining at times, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Don't forget to join us down in Discord. You won't regret it. Links are in the description down below. Until the next one though, guys, have a fantastic day.